This weekend sees the third round of the 2007-2008 Serie A campaign, and it could be the moment that Adriano makes his debut in the league for this season. It's been a troubled start to the season for the Brazilian, who's not featured in Mancini's plans so far. First came the news that he'd been put on the transfer market to be loaned out to another side, then Mancini omitted him from the list of players eligible to play in the Champions League. A double blow for the player. That could all change in the game against Catania, where Inter's coach is looking to rest many of his players after the international games played this week, in what on paper should be a relatively easy game at the San Siro, and seems ready to give Adriano a chance. Everybody is waiting to see the best of Adriano, the player of 2 seasons ago, not least Mancini himself, and the player must take the most of the opportunity granted to him. Ronaldo is flying back to Milan this afternoon after his brief visit to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. The player flew home some days ago for more medical visits in order to try and clear up the situation regarding the injury which has baffled so many. Ronaldo's departure was a clear indication that he was not happy with the diagnosis or treatment given to him at Milanello, and it's a difficult situation for Milan to manage as they do not want to clash with the player. It is still unclear as to when Ronaldo will take to the field this season. Once rested from the long flight home, he'll restart his training programme, and it may be up to a month before he's ready to play. One thing is for sure, Milan have no intention of calling him up until he's fully fit. For the moment, Il Fenomeno is on hold. Juventus have reignited their interest in Christian Zapata, the Udinese player whom they already tried to sign last season. The central defender is sought after by many of the bigger clubs and is one of the emerging talents in the Italian game. Quick, physically strong and good in the air, he would be a valuable asset for Ranieri. The only problem is the price tag that Pozzo has placed on his head. 18 million euros is the asking price, a little too steep even for the grand old lady. That said, Ranieri will have the chance to view the Colombian up close this Sunday as Juve host Udinese at the Olympic Stadium in Turin. Ranieri's thoughts are already wandering to the biggest match of the season on match day 4, when Juve go up against Scudetto hopefuls AS Roma in what is surely the biggest test for the Bianconeri. Ranieri has stated that he doesn't want to settle for a draw, and the match will surely be a measure of what is to come from his Juventus. Another Argentine is making headlines at the start of the Serie A season. He plays for Cagliari. He's 23 years old and his name is Joaquin Larrivey. After his arrival from the Argentine Serie B, the player, called Larry by his teammates but also known as El Batti back home, thanks to a look very similar to that of Batistuta, was thrown in at the deep end, making his debut against Juventus. Coach Gianpaolo had no hesitation starting the youngster and kept him on for a full 90 minutes. The attacker has a lot to learn about the Italian game but demonstrated the necessary talent and more importantly commitment to make it in the league, and he will be a serious contender for a starting place alongside Matri and Acquafresca. No goals so far, but he did win a penalty for his side that was then converted by Foggia. Not bad for his first game against the grand old lady of Italian football.